All right, a round of severe thunderstorms. Strong storms are moving into northern Ohio right now. So let's track our first severe thunderstorm warning and show you what's going on. By the way, thank you all for joining me here on this live stream, Facebook as well as YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and follow. Much appreciated there. So let's bring this full screen. Our first severe thunderstorm warning is right here, down into Richland County and Ashland counties. I'm going to zoom on into this one. We'll get it right in focus here. So we've got our severe thunderstorm warning until 2:30 p.m. And by my watch, it is 1:56. You can see where we might be concerned about a little bit of hail right there near Mifflin. And let's bring that in. Mifflin right there, some large hail. You can see that hail popping out in the pink color there. That's most likely large hail. Moving off toward the east at about 45 miles per hour. So these, well, I'm sorry, 25 miles per hour. Scratch that. These are moving slower. They've slowed down a little bit. 60-mile-an-hour wind gust, potentially 1-inch diameter hail. That is quarter size for Richland County, southern Ashland County. Let's see, portions of Wayne County, not quite into Worcester, but into Shreve, and a little sliver of Wayne County, or Holmes County, I should say, moving off toward the east at about 25 miles per hour. So what I'll do is I'll stop this now. We'll slide it on over, and we'll go into it and take a look and see what's going on. So first of all, the leading edge here is going to print out. We're going to be able to put out a little bit of a cone here for you. So hazardous winds, 50 to 60 miles per hour, 1/2 inch to 1 inch per hour hail. That is our severe thunderstorm warning right now. And that just changed there. Interesting stuff going on. Okay, so notice what's going on. We got a little S curve right here. So we definitely pumping into the backside here of this storm system. Right in here, follow my cursor. We've got some mid-level winds that are kind of crashing down to the surface. So our strongest wind gusts are going to be right here. Starting to see a little bow echo right now. Starting to see a little bow echo. By the way, if you're joining me, make sure you leave some comments. Love to hear from you. We got Suzanne here. We got Randy. We got Hope. So many of you on YouTube. Love it. Ryan, Beverly, Lena, Marion, Rebecca, Mario. Love it. Okay. Okay, we're going to make sure. There we go. Okay, so you've got this little bow echo that's beginning to develop just outside of Lucas, moving into Mifflin. This would be into Ashland County. Now, that bow right there would be the main area of concern for some strong, damaging straight line winds. And let's go find them now. We'll go to base velocity. Here we go. We're going to wait for this to change. Okay, look, you can definitely see. I'm going to move some of this over. So you've got near 50-mile-an-hour winds. Look, 50-mile-an-hour winds right there. Let's go up toward Mifflin. You got 30 to 40-mile-an-hour winds there. Definitely seeing that wind field increase right down here, just inside Richland County, just to the southeast of Lucas, sliding east, headed into Ashland County. So again, that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 2:30 for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and damaging hail of 1 inch diameter or greater. Let's go back to reflectivity. I do want to widen out our view a little bit. Whoa, widen it out a little bit. And what do we see? We see a line of thunderstorms, and more of them developing over here into Geauga, into Portage, into Mahoning and Columbiana counties. Those are non-severe. Strongest cell near Coshocton. That might be a severe cell in a little while. Here's our only severe thunderstorm warning as we speak for Richland, Ashland, portions of Wayne and Holmes counties until 2:30. Farther to the north, you got a mishmash mess. All right, up into Lorain County. Look at this. You've got some heavy rain here. Lorain down to Elyria. Definitely some heavy rain. We'll put it into motion. It's moving north and east now. Moving north and east. So it's moving through Lorain. It's headed up toward Avon and Avon Lake. Oberlin, you're getting smashed with some heavy rain, some lightning and thunder, maybe some small hail in there. Some small hail. This storm near Lorain likely has some hail in it, and we can check for some hail right now. Slide it on up to the last frame. That one's getting a little stronger, but it's ready to move out over the lake here in the next few minutes. Let's see if we can find a little bit of hail in any of these. Probability of severe hail. I'm going to wait for that to load. The probability of 1 inch or greater hail in any of these storms, okay, it's not showing up. There you go. You got a little one right there. You got a little blip right in here near Mifflin. So there is the potential right there inside that storm for some severe hail. All right, for some severe hail. That's really it. Now, there could be some smaller hail inside there. Absolutely. Smaller hail. We're going to go back to our base velocity. There it is. You can still see that stronger gust of wind right there near my cursor. It's moving close to route 511. 511. There you go. There's a little bow echo. That's where we would be concerned about damaging straight line winds between Mifflin and just along the Richland-Ashland County line toward State Route 95. County Road 95, State Route 95. There you go. So between Route 95 up to Mifflin, that would be the main concern for any type of damaging straight line winds right in there. Okay, you can see that little bow. You can see that little bow right where my cursor is, starting to bow out a little bit. You betcha. You betcha. Oh, so many of you joining me. Ryan, Bruce. Ryan says it's currently raining and thundering here in Plymouth at the moment. Which Plymouth, Bruce? Which Plymouth, Bruce? There's several Plymouths. We got a Plymouth in Ashtabula County. Got a Plymouth in Ottawa County. Try saying that 3 times fast. It's not going to work. Not going to work. Okay, let's see if we can get a little beat on this thing. At 40, we got some pretty high winds. We got some really, really gusty winds there. Really gusty winds. All right, we're going to try and interact here. Okay, so here's where this bow echo is going to be. We can basically show you. Let's do the probe mode here. Okay, the ETA here is going to be into Jeromesville at about 2:19 p.m. So you got 16 minutes into Jeromesville, okay? Let's see where else. If you're going along Route 30, this is going to travel right along Route 30, but Jeromesville, the ETA is about 2:18, 2:19. Currently, it's right there. It's right over Mifflin right now. If I zoom in a little bit closer, there's US Route 30, Mifflin, Jeromesville. Your ETA is 2:19. 2:19. Let's see what Hayesville's ETA is. It's already raining in Hayesville. Skies are dark. You may be seeing an ominous shelf cloud if you are in Hayesville right now. So 2:10, the worst of the storm arrives, and right now it's 2:03. But this storm's already getting there, so it's accelerating a little bit. Okay, it's accelerating a little bit. It might even be into Jeromesville a little bit earlier than anticipated. So keep an eye on Jeromesville. Okay. Keep an eye on Hayesville. Strong thunderstorm moving in right now as we speak. Okay, we'll continue to update that. There you go. Wow, that is heavy rain. That's some large hail as well. Put it into motion. Why not? Let's do it. Put it into motion. There it is, 60-mile-an-hour winds. 1-inch hail, potentially. We did see that in there. There are other strong storms out there. Millersburg to Warsaw, Coshocton County. You've got some pretty strong thunderstorms. We've got a small risk for severe weather today. Okay, I told you that earlier in my briefing, my video. Saw that. Round 1 is passed here in Columbiana County, waiting for round number 2. Yeah, definitely. Columbiana County over here. There's round number 1 moving through there. And then you got more down here. Coshocton County, that stuff's going to get you. The Janaden Hutton stuff is going to slide on in. The severe storm is here, and it's looking pretty potent. It's got a nice little bow echo on it with some strong winds. I've measured near 50, but they could easily go to 60. Farther north here, let's not ignore Lorraine. There's some small hail in that storm in Lorraine, sliding toward Avon and Avon Lake. You've got Oberlin right now with a couple of cells there, non-severe, but you've got some very, very heavy rain pushing toward the north and toward the east. How about this one on the back side here? This one just moving out of Tiffin. Not a severe weather warned storm, but that's a strong cell with gusts above 30 miles per hour, maybe close to 40. And you've got some hail trying to form in there. Plus you've got all of this mess. Rain, showers, thunderstorms, and then we slide into that severe weather warning there. and that is until 2:30 p.m. severe thunderstorm warning. Right in there till 2:30, and let's see, it's 2:05 right now. 2:05 right now. Just double checking, making sure we're not getting anything else. Farther to the north and to the east, we got some rain moving into the Mentor area, briefly moderates. Chardon, Burton, moving over toward Middlefield. You're going to see some of that rain. You're already seeing it there. Nothing severe. And then down into Salem. Now, what's this little box you're asking me right here? See this little, let's call it a polygon. It's kind of purplish blue. That is a mesoscale discussion from the Storm Prediction Center. And the Storm Prediction Center says that there's only a 20% chance in this area here that they would expect to issue a severe thunderstorm watch. So they're not expected to issue a watch, but they do say there is the potential for 1 or 2 severe storms capable of a damaging wind gust, some large hail. And believe it or not, in this area here, there is also a very small chance for an isolated tornado. Isolated tornado inside this little box here, or even near it. So again, watching everything, all hazards on the table. There's your severe thunderstorm warning cluster, if you will. Nice little bow there. You got some very large hail there as well. Right in there, 60-mile-an-hour winds potentially. Take it all the way to the end. Sliding into Jeromesville very, very shortly. Coming into Jeromesville. Worcester, you're not in the warning, but this whole line is headed your way. If they have to extend the warning farther east, you're next. I mean, Worcester, you're right on the border. Shreve, you're in it. All right, this is a very rural area right now. You got Route 30. This thing is following that Route 30 corridor through Jeromesville, eventually into Worcester. Loudonville, you're right on the edge. You hear that knocking? That's the thunderstorm. But the severe part of that storm is probably a little bit farther north from you right now. Always got to check it. Always got to go. Let's go to our base velocity, which way are the winds blowing and how fast. Again, you got that little spike right there. Let's measure that. There's a 50. I saw 50. So you got 50-mile-an-hour winds right there. You got 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts right there. Where are we? What little highways and byways can we find? It's between Hayesville and Perrysville right now. Hayesville, Perrysville, Route 95. There you go. That's 60. 39 coming in there as well. That's where your 50-mile-an-hour wind gust is likely. And then you go up here. You got some strong winds. You're in that 30-plus to 40-mile-an-hour range right there. Little bit of a rotation here, but nothing I'm real concerned about at this time. It's more of a mesocyclone. The whole supercell is spinning right there. So I'm not real concerned about that. We'll keep an eye on things, though, for you. Let's check on our hail, severe hail potential. Let's see. We had a little blob near Mifflin a few minutes ago, and I'm not seeing anything there now. So maybe our severe hail is falling out. Might be falling out as we speak, okay? It might be hail detection. Probability of hail is 70%. We know there's hail in there. The probability of 1-inch diameter hail is only 30%, okay? So the hail size looks like it's diminished just a little bit. Still, gusty winds pushing right into Hayesville, Jeromesville, Perrysville, that area there. 60-mile-an-hour winds, potentially 1-inch diameter hail at its quarter size. Of course, if you get a hailstone in there and you want to take a picture of it and send it to me, what you do need to do is you need to have something else to compare that to. You don't just pick up the hail and put it in your hand. Have something else to compare it to, like a quarter or a dime or a nickel. That's the easiest thing. Put it in your hand right next to the hailstone. Take a little picture of it. Okay? So there is our squall line of strong to severe storms. Savannah, you're getting into some heavy rain right now. New London, you got a lot of rain around you. It's going to rain over you for a while. If you needed to get yard work done in Oberlin, in Lorraine, I think that window is pretty much closed for now. Strong cell moving up toward Avon Lake. It's probably got some pea-sized hail in it and wind gusts above 30 miles per hour. In fact, I do think I need to check some of the wind speeds up here farther to the north. Put on our velocity products here, and then we'll just do a little probe on there. And you can see, okay, you know, they're 20-mile-an-hour wind gusts there. Down here, same story. Bailey Lake, 27. You're getting close to 30. Okay, so you got some gusty winds. You got some torrential rains. And this rain that's coming down here, you could see a quick inch in a hurry. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a few flood advisories, flash flood advisories issued for a 2-hour period, okay? Look at all of you here, YouTube, Facebook. This is so awesome. Don't forget to leave likes, comments, and shares, please. Likes, comments, and shares gets the word out. It gets the word out. Hayesville 210, Jeromesville 218, 248 in the city of Worcester. That may be a little old, so we'll have to go back and see what our new product is showing you. This one expires in 4 minutes, it says. So we'll get a new product out there. Get a new one. Again, your ETA, you're right there right now. It's over Jeromesville. It's moving in. Hayesville, it's moving in right now. Shreve, you got a little while to go. Okay, you got a little while to go in Shreve. So we'll keep an eye on Shreve. Always keeping an eye on Shreve. All right, I got to get down here again and try and pop that one up. Get rid of that one. We'll get rid of that one and wait for the next one. What's this one say up here? Okay, that one's a little old as well. So we'll get rid of that one. We'll wait for the new scans to come in and give us some better beats. Severe thunderstorm warning until 2:30 in case you're just joining me for Richland, Ashland counties. Although I'm going to sound the all clear for Richland County. Richland County, you're okay. They've carved down the warning now. It includes a tiny bit of Richland County, but Richland County, you're all right. Mansfield, Shelby, Belleville, Lexington, everybody's okay there. You may get a little more rain later, but the severe weather is off to your east. It's now in Ashland County. That's the primary focus. From Ashland down to Loudonville is your best shot at some damaging straight line winds and some large hail. And you can see there's probably still some hail in there. Maybe smaller, may not be 1 inch in diameter, maybe smaller. Okay. What are you guys seeing out there? Anybody in the Ashland County area? All right. No wind in Lorraine, says Marion. Awesome. No wind in Lorraine. I do want to come on over here. Make sure I'm watching comments. Okay. Walter, you're just off of Route 30 between Jeromesville and Worcester. Okay. So it's coming your way, Walter. You've got to be looking west right now. Tell me what you're seeing west right now. Okay. Pouring in Amherst, says Wendy. Tyler, headed to that cell to take a look. My storm chaser friend, Tyler, is headed to that cell to take a look. Nice. Thank you, man. Okay, we got Debbie in Stark County. Yours is coming. Yours is coming. Okay, Walter says you see it. Describe what you see. Big, dark. Do you see a shelf cloud at all? What do you see, my friend? Love this. This is ground truth. Pea-sized, okay, look, pea-sized hail in downtown Akron. There we go. Now we're starting to get some reports. Brad, thank you very much. Pea-sized hail. There it is. I'm going to widen out our view, okay? We're not done yet. We've got to widen it out. I don't want anyone to be ignored here. And I'm going to move this map into motion. There's your severe thunderstorm warning. Now, Ashland County primarily set to move into Wayne County and extreme northwestern Holmes County within the next 5 minutes or so. So pea-sized hail. Okay, I've got some more here coming in. Love these weather reports. These are awesome. Heavy rain in Loudonville, getting dark over Elyria. Okay. Walter says one wall and lots of rumblings. So it is a wall of just darkness and heavy rain, and you've got some thunder. Okay. Bill is pouring in Lorraine. Okay. Now, Kim says the rain stopped in Lorraine. So, okay. You might be in between showers, Kim. Carol, thunder and rain in Vermilion, no wind or hail yet. Awesome. Is it going to Bolivar and Tuscarawas County? Your stuff is coming in from the south right now. It is just like 10 minutes away. Southern stuff near Dover, New Philly, and I'll zoom in on that in a couple of minutes. Joyce, rain beginning in Worcester near Shreve. Awesome. How's Dover, New Philly looking? It's looking wet and stormy. No severe weather warning there yet, but you got strong cells moving in right now. Rain and thunder west side of Elyria. Awesome. Tyler says he's closing in soon on this cell. Awesome, Tyler. Okay, so you've got a few thundery cells moving into the Youngstown, Warren area now, and that line kind of creeps up into Lake County. It's non-severe. It is generally rain, maybe a rumble of thunder. And I promised you that I would zoom in down here to the Dover. Oh, that was fast. Let's go to the Dover, New Philly area, and we'll show you these cells, non-severe, but heavy rainfall, thunder and lightning, yes, could cause some brief flash flooding and maybe a little bit of hail in there, although it doesn't look like there's a ton of hail. Here's your severe thunderstorm. Here's your bow echo. Now notice the leading edge of this moving along Route 30, headed toward Walter. This is going to be intense as it moves in. It's moving along Route 30 right now. It's moved into Jeromesville. Worcester is next, Route 30. 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch hail. And you can see it's just redeveloping. That updraft is just really, really impressive. So I bet there's an impressive shelf cloud trying to form on that. That just tells you got some winds coming your way. I do want to stop this. We'll put it to the end. I want to check the wind speeds. Got to keep an eye on the wind. Bring it on in. All right, we're still seeing some wind gusts. I don't see the 50. I got the 40 plus. Got the 40 plus. You got some strong winds at the very minimum. 40 to 60-mile-an-hour winds. So we'll open up that range. We'll open up that range. It's still a very strong cell. And again, it's running perpendicular to the radar. So, I mean, the radar beam is shooting down at it, and the actual movement of the storm is this way. So it may be missing a tiny bit of the wind speed there. Maybe missing a tiny bit, but it's still strong winds. 13 minutes to go before this severe thunderstorm warning expires. Looking for other strong gusty winds. Yeah, we're getting some gusty winds up here. Let's. Okay, we got 20, 25 over here, moving up toward Lorraine. You're in that 15 to 20. There's 28 to 30 right in there. Ashland, you're at about 20, but down here you're getting into that 40 plus mile-an-hour wind gust range. All right. Love, 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 love showing everybody this. I want to keep it wide so that everyone who's joining me sees where they are, and ask questions. Ask questions. We'll put it into motion. One severe thunderstorm warning right now. Rain just dead stopped after a full downpour. This is Brad. That's really cool. That's in Ashland. Wow. Okay. Okay. It's still moving through the Ashland area. When is it arriving in Akron, Veronica? Well, that Worcester stuff is going to slide your way. I'd say you've got another 45 to 50 minutes yet. So you got a little while. Canton, it's coming your way. You see that stuff in Dover, New Philly? That is moving northeastward, okay? It's kind of swinging north and eastward. This whole line is kind of like a pendulum. It's kind of swinging north and eastward like that, okay? Swinging north and eastward. So Canton, I'm saying less than 30 minutes. Less than 30 minutes. Pouring in Ashland and thundering now. Okay, there you go, Darcy. Thank you very much. Walter said the wind started. I'm really paying attention to what Walter says. Walter, I need you to describe everything that happens as it happens to me in this feed, because you are in direct path of that severe thunderstorm. It is barreling your way very, very quickly. What about Avon Lake? Avon Lake, you're going to get that thunderstorm. It should be moving in within the next 5 minutes. Non-severe, but very, very heavy rain, some lightning and thunder. Then you get on and off rain for the next couple of hours, hour and a half. Okay. Worcester's still okay. A little wind, no storm. But look to the west, David. Tell me what you see to the west, okay? Thanks for showing Knox County. You got it. You got it. I'm still waiting for Walter. Walter, how are fast are these storms moving in Dover, New Philly? Right now we're getting a beat of about 25 to 30 miles per hour on these. Okay, 25 to 30 miles per hour. Raining in Avon Lake. Raining in Avon Lake. Thank you, Mickey. Any word on Conneaut and Monroe Township? That first little wave of rain is going to come in within the next, I'd say, 30 minutes into Monroe Center. Conneaut a little longer than that. That's not severe. This bigger stuff is going to come in closer to probably 4-ish into Ashtabula County there. And you notice a little blue line connecting to the red line. Follow my cursor. That's actually a cold front. All right, cold front connecting to a little warm front, this little red line that kinks toward Greenville, that area there. And then behind this here, there's a little occluded front or trough, if you will, that's going to linger over us all night long and through the day tomorrow and just keep rain, non-severe rain, but rain over us. So our Worcester severe, it's not quite to Worcester yet, but come on, Walter, don't let me down. Raining good here in Hayesville. Yes. Hayesville, though, it should be stopping in Hayesville. Okay, here's Walter. Walter says we got hail. How big, Walter? How big? Okay, here's Walter. We are all pulling for Walter right now. Walter is directly in the path of this big old, oh, I'm so sorry. My mouse is very sensitive. So I have to whisper to it. I can't yell at it. Walter says he's got hail now moving in. So that is definitely hail. Tell me how big the hail is, my friend. Worcester a little dark toward the west, cloudy overhead, very little wind. Love it. Is Route 8 going to have anything? Yes, absolutely. You've got storms that are to your west. It may take an hour, hour and a half to get there. Probably a little less. Hallie says, my body hurts because of this weather. Gary says, light rain in Ravenna. Okay. What was that? Pea-sized hail. Walter. Walter, heavy downpour. Walter, pea-sized hail. There we go. Okay. Not 1-inch hail, but Walter has hail. Well done, Walter. Well done. Tell me what else is. How about the winds? How about the winds, Walter? You are the only one I have right now in this feed that is giving me ground truth on this severe thunderstorm. Pea-sized hail, heavy rain, gusty winds. Is it blowing the trees around? Walter says the hail is done. Okay, so the hail is moved by Walter. So the hail is moved by, whoa, yes. So we know Walter's somewhere in here. So the hail is now moving along. What was that? Hail is done. Hail is done. Walter, you are doing great. Bruce says, be safe, Walter. Very heavy rain. Very heavy rain and some lightning here in southeast Huron County. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. Going to miss Oroville. I don't think it misses anybody. I mean, the severe weather may miss Oroville. But Walter, we know, has pea-sized hail and very heavy rain. So this may not be a severe thunderstorm anymore. So they may not reissue it for, upstream. They may not reissue it for portions of Wayne and Holmes County. Other storms near Youngstown now, non-severe, but with heavy rain. Any one of these thunder cells are capable of putting down 1 inch of rain in a hurry. Could cause you some issues with flash flooding. Okay? Could cause you some issues. Will the rain get bad? Well, Lorraine, you've got some heavy rain over you right now. Will there be a severe storm for you? It doesn't look like it. It looks like this area of rain that's moving in now is your best shot at severe, and right now we're not seeing it. Not much wind, just a gully washer in New London. Yes. Pam is here. Awesome. Let's see. Dark clouds moving in from the southwest in Massillon. Yes, indeed. You can see it. You can see it's moving up towards Stark County. Wadsworth, you're going to get yours shortly. I mean, you got some rain and thunder moving up toward Wayne County right now. Okay, toward Wayne County. Pouring with thunder in Avon. Thank you, Susanna. Oh, I love these ground truths. These are really helpful. Walter, you did great. You did great, Walter. OTJ, not much wind, just a gully washer in New London. So what I'm going to do here is we have so many of you here from lots of different spots, okay? What? There I go again. Me and my mouse are not having a good time. I'm going to zoom in. We're going to go up the line. So you can see a lot of heavy rain, thunder, Baltic to Strasbourg to Dover, New Philly. Non-severe cells, but it's going to slow you down. Maybe big enough raindrops to have to pull over. Newly developed cell just to the east of Canton, over toward Robertsville, moving up toward Alliance. We'll keep an eye on that. Okay, let's move up the line. Now notice what just occurred here. So they're not going to extend the severe thunderstorm warning. They're going to let that expire in literally 5 minutes. And they've issued instead a special weather statement for wind gusts to 50 miles per hour and 1/4 inch hail. Walter, you were correct. You were right on the money when you said pea-sized hail. Okay, no longer a severe hail threat of 1 inch. 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts max, non-severe, but still, could blow some trees you know, I'm not going to say blow trees down. I could take a limb down. Sure, absolutely. But this is now beginning to shift toward the north and east, okay? I do want to, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause this right now. I want to bring this up because I want to get the special weather statement here. Come on. Oh, I know what I got to do. It's not a severe thunderstorm warning. It's a special weather statement. Okay, it says hail size, quarter inch, and wind gusts to 50 miles per hour. Okay, that's good. Expires in 49 minutes. So non-severe, but strong, right in there. And the worst of it is pushing into the Worcester area as we speak, the Worcester area. All right, if I click on this, let's try and get a new cone. Okay, the leading edge of this wind gust brings it into Smithville at 240, brings it into Orrville at 248, brings it into Marshallville at 252, brings it into Clinton at 302. Let's see, 303 Canal Fulton, City of Green at 316, 317 into Greensburg, North Canton 321, Lakemore 322, same for Greentown. Okay, so that puts it right up into here. And you can see the ETA. Let's say City of Green, ETA is 316. Okay, we can go in closer. Orrville, ETA would be 205. Canal Fulton right in here, ETA 303. All right, that's basically the cone, the leading edge of the strong thunder cell, the hail, the gusty winds to 50 miles per hour right in there. Okay, we'll keep that on. Like seeing that, but you can see there's a little bow echo right there. It's not super bowy, but you can see there's a little bit of a punch there, if you will, a little push of some gusty winds, and that's where we would expect the severest weather to be. Still technically a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Wayne County, a little sliver of Holmes County for another 3 minutes, but the Weather Service has already indicated that that storm is not severe at this moment. Let's zoom up here. Look at all that's going on in Lorain County. That is some very heavy rain. Starting to see some small hail moving into Elyria and Avon. Anybody in Lorain County right now can describe what's going on for me? Does Madison have a thunderstorm watch? No. Nobody has a thunderstorm watch. Nobody has a severe thunderstorm watch out at this time. Let me just check, make sure I didn't miss a text from the Weather Service. No, did not. Okay, so here up in Lorain County, there's a lot of heavy rain there. From Avon Lake all the way down to Oberlin, Columbia Station, Lorain, you're getting heavy rain. Vermilion, you got some light to moderate. Wakeman, heavy rain. Wellington, heavy rain. Look at New London. There's probably some tiny hail in those storms there over New London right now. Let's see what the hail detection is. Severe hail probability is 10%, but there is a hail probability of 60%. So there is very small hail in that storm over New London. Back here, you got some heavier rains between Willard and Bellevue, heavier rains between Wakeman and Vermilion. We'll slide over here. You're seeing in northern Medina County starting to get a few cells starting to pop there. Non-severe, just some heavier rains. How about Bainbridge? You got that cell that's popping up, forming, just kind of out in the middle of nowhere, just forming. Let's see what we got here. Hail in New London. Okay, that was 229. So that's right now. Let's talk about that. Hail, raining hard, marking Lorain. Love it. Okay. Hail in New London. Rain and thunder in Sheffield Lake. Okay, what do we got? Lightning in Avon Lake. Okay. Will it hit Northfield? It's coming your way. Probably non-severe, but you're going to have some heavy rain. And remember, you're going to get drenched. These storms are going to produce a lot of rainfall, maybe an inch or more in a hurry. So please, if you're driving, just be careful. Hearing thunder in Worcester, no rain yet. All right. Heavy rain, thunder, and lightning in Elyria. Wind really picking up, getting dark in Worcester near Shreve. Route 3 south. Absolutely. All right, I'm going to widen out our view. Let's widen it out. I don't want to ignore anybody. I want everybody to see who's watching what's coming their way. So the severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire. Okay? Been allowed to expire, and now we have a special weather statement for a strong thunderstorm in effect for basically Wayne County into portions of Summit and Stark counties. But you got a lot of thunder activity out there. There's even new storms trying to pop east of Canton. That area is really kind of blowing up. Moving up toward Robertsville and Alliance. Strong cells will eventually be a problem out there. Rain and thunder slowing down in Amherst. Okay, thank you for that. Worcester, churning clouds overhead, thunder increasing. Okay, churning clouds overhead. It is knocking on your door in Worcester. It really is. Again, if you're in Worcester right now, I want you to describe what you see as it happens. Will Avon Lake get severe storms? No, Avon Lake will not. But strong thunderstorms, yeah. Strong thunderstorms, yes. So we got a messy line of strong thunderstorms, heavy rain, some hail, dangerous lightning. They're trying to line up a little bit. They're not having a good time. There's lots of cells around each other kind of competing for the energy. Okay? Wheeling, West Virginia. Believe it or not, Bryce, love having you here. Wheeling, West Virginia. You've got thundery weather moving in right now, and you're actually under that little special weather statement, okay? You're actually under that special weather statement for the potential of an isolated tornado and a brief damaging wind gust to 60 miles per hour. So that you're in that little hatched area there, that special weather statement area. So we're going to continue to monitor this. We also just had, let's put that one on here. Also had a special statement issued for precipitation. You see this little green line that's kind of around all of these storms? That's a special statement for heavy rainfall. And as I mentioned, you could get an inch or more of rain out of this system. So there could easily be some flash flooding issues, some high water, some ponding of water on the roadways. Of course, turn around, don't drown. If you get in an area where the water's rushing over the roadways, just turn around. You don't want your car to stall out. I know there's some highways and byways around Greater Cleveland and Akron that when you get a heavy rainfall, the drains don't work very quickly. They're overwhelmed, and you get water on the road in a hurry, and you try driving into it. You don't see it. You drive into it, and guess what? You're hydroplaning. You're spinning out, okay? Okay. Bruce, sounds like the rain has let up. Thunder stopped here in Plymouth and Huron County. Awesome. Awesome. Wendy's in the barn with horses. Thunder and dark in Grafton. Thank you for that. Lightning picking up. And thank you, David. Starting to rain. This is so awesome. We have so many on Facebook and on YouTube. We're next to Worcester and nothing happened here. Not even any wind. Did you get rain? Did you get rain at all? Thank you, Debbie. Tim's watching from Navarre. So there's your thunder activity. It's moving in. There's more storms developing kind of in the middle. You got the first line over here, Chardon to Youngstown. You got the bigger line from Sandusky, Lorain, Elyria, down to Worcester, down into Dover, New Philly. And kind of right in the middle, I don't want to ignore this because these storms here in Stark County are very interesting to watch. Look at that one over Louisville, moving toward Alliance. That thing is exploded. And it's showing us, let's stop this right now. It's got a lot of lightning on it. And let's see if I can get it. Let's try this one. Hail detection. It's got probability of hail is 50%, severe hail 10%. Hail size is about a ½ an inch in diameter, so non-severe. This storm is still building, so there's not likely any hail falling out of it yet because the updraft is strong enough to keep that hail juggled up in the atmosphere. And every time the updraft carries it up higher into the storm where it's below freezing, it gets another coating of water on it, and that freezes, and the hailstone gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Not that big, all right? Not the size of a canned ham, but you get the idea. The updraft is keeping those hailstones juggling up into the storm. It pushes them up, they freeze, drops them down, they get a little more water on them, the updraft picks them up, pushes them up again, they freeze, drop back down. If the updraft is strong enough, those hailstones will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until they're too big and heavy and they overwhelm the updraft and they fall to the ground. I would imagine that we're not getting any hailstones reaching the ground yet in Louisville, but Alliance, Limaville, Sebring, different story there. All right, I want to go up here and track this little cluster. Bainbridge, non-severe, you got heavy rain. It's trying to get organized a little bit. Not having a good time with it. You got Youngstown with some rain, Boardman, Salem. Interesting stuff. This is just messy. Not one storm wants to fight for dominance here. There's enough energy in there to kind of keep everything working for now. So here's what's going on in this area in Wayne County. So it's moving into Worcester now. All right, it's moving into Worcester. So you still have your Smithville arrival time right around, the worst of it anyway, right around 2:40, and that's 4 minutes away. 2:48 into Orrville, 2:52 Marshallville, Clinton at 3:02. You got 3:03 in Canal Fulton, City of Greene 3:16, North Canton 3:21. I have to push down my monitor because it's kind of in the way of me reading these. Maybe I can move it over a little. Yeah, I can bring it over here. So Lakemore at 3:22 and Greentown at 3:22. We'll push it back over that way. That gives you an idea of arrival times there, okay? Arrival times. Still on track. Still on track. Doppler radar tracking a strong thunderstorm near Worcester, moving east at 35 miles per hour. East-northeast at 35 miles per hour. Wind gust to 50 and pea-sized hail. So that's your special weather statement on that one. Continuing to monitor all storms because there's a lot going on. A lot going on. Up here in Lorain County, that is just a mess. That is some very, very heavy rain. Some lightning, some small hail. Very, very heavy rain. Let's see what else we've got. I want to show you, if I can. I'm going to just do the vertically integrated liquid, and we're going to see where the heaviest rains are. And whenever you see these brighter blue areas there, even the real light blues, I mean, you got some very, very heavy rain here. I'll stop this real quick. I mean, this area here is showing you, I mean, this could be 1 inch of rainfall coming down in just south of Worcester. It looks like it's trying to move around Worcester with the worst of it. So you got some really, really heavy rains right there. Really heavy rain back toward New London and Wellington, okay? Really heavy rain there. You got some pretty good moderate to heavy rain around Elyria and Lorain. It is coming down. Got that Stark County stuff over here. Heavy, heavy rain. We see those darker blue colors. Heavy rainfall will slide up here. Greater Cleveland over into the Bainbridge area. It's maybe some moderate rain to briefly heavy. Moderate rain to briefly heavy. Let's go back to our base velocity. Let's load that up. Okay, I'm just going to check on wind speeds and wind gusts. And as expected, we're not seeing the strong winds that we had. We're not seeing the 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts that we had around Worcester. You still got some strong wind gusts, 30-plus miles per hour here. And you got some very heavy rain falling here in the red in Worcester there. Probably a nice little downburst coming down here in the Worcester area right now. Where you see that red color, that indicates to me we might be seeing some hail falling out. Yeah, might be seeing some hail falling out, or at least very heavy rain, and it's producing this little downburst, you know, of maybe 25, 30 mile per hour wind gusts along with that descending hail core as it's getting ready to hit the ground. More storms up here. I'm loving this storm here in Stark County. Loving this storm. This is very, very interesting right there. That's a fun little storm. Fun, meaning I'm watching it. I'm not taking my eyes off of it. I'm going to do a little velocity on there. Yeah, right down in here, right? Route 153. Right in there. Might have a little lowering of the cloud base, okay? Right in that area there. Just might be a little area of lowering right there over Route 153. Is anybody in that vicinity now? You might be able to see it right there. That little appendage there might be a little lowering coming down. Okay, just a little bit. I'm not worried about anything yet, ground level, but very interesting. We watched those things very carefully. Here we go, back to Lorain County. Look at this cell here. Watch this one in Bainbridge, doing the same doggone thing. Look at this thing, trying to get a little V notch in there, trying to form a nice little HP mini supercell. High precipitation, trying to get a V notch in here. Nice little structure. What's this on the end? What's that, everybody? You can put it in there. Storm relative. Okay, no couplet there, although we're getting into some beam issues here. So that's okay. It's just a nice little mesocyclone, and it's doing its thing. We keep an eye on those. We absolutely keep an eye on those. Getting some rain around greater Cleveland, nothing heavy, but look at all that stuff coming to our west. Look at all that. That is pretty intense. Lots of rain there, heavy rain, some small hail in those from Lorain County to Oberlin to New London. Avon Lake, you're getting pummeled with that heavy rain now. You're getting pummeled. Special weather statement for wind gusts to 50 miles per hour in the Worcester area, just along and south of Route 30 primarily. That's where it looks like the heavier rains have shifted and the gustiest winds have shifted. Hail size, 1/4 of an inch or less. So we're looking at maybe pea-sized hail, maybe a little bit larger. Okay. Looks like we have a brand new severe thunderstorm watch that was just issued right in here. Very interesting. Let's see if that'll process in. Okay. We're going to wait and see. Looks like this new severe thunderstorm watch just issued. Maybe it's a flood watch. We'll see. I'm going to check. Oh, that's a tornado watch. Okay. Stand corrected. There is a tornado watch that was just issued for eastern Stark County, portions of Columbiana, Carroll, and Tuscarawas counties, and that expires at 8 p.m. We're not going to need it that long. This is not a particularly dangerous situation. Any tornado that would form would be very, very weak. Max wind gust to 65 miles per hour. Max hail size, 1.5 inch. So brand new tornado watch just issued. Remember this area that I described to you as a 20% chance for a watch issuance? Well, boom, they just issued a tornado watch until 8 p.m. Small portion of our viewing area includes parts of Tuscarawas, the eastern half of Stark County, east of Interstate 77, all of Columbiana and Carroll counties are included. A very small portion of Mahoning County included. And we mentioned up here, these little cells wanting to get these little hooks on them could easily be a little lowering of the cloud base. So tornado watch out until 8 p.m. There you go for the Canton area endpoints east. We are watching this cluster of strong thunderstorms, not severe, sliding through the Worcester area now. I don't see any indication on those that I'd be worried about any type of tornadic activity. Farther to the north, we have these storm cells across Lorain County. And what I'm going to do is we're just going to move this. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to let it move. David says, Worcester, we're under the gazebo in the neighborhood park, intense rain and wind. Oh my gosh, that gazebo's not going to keep you dry, David. Okay. Yeah, a watch means conditions are right for potential tornadoes. It doesn't mean they're there yet. A warning would mean that there's a tornado that they've seen. Yeah, and the tornado strength would generally be EF0, I would say. Maybe an EF1, but still, no tornado is a good tornado. No tornado is a good tornado. Okay. The thunder's quite loud in Wellington. Absolutely. So we're starting to get some more comments. We're getting thunder east of Apple Creek, no rain or high winds yet. So there's your tornado warning just appearing there for portions of Stark County. It hasn't really even come across my phone yet. I bet it's there now. Okay. Yeah. So new tornado watch. Oh, we got a flood advisory out for Lorain County, huh? Yes. Remember I told you that heavy rain could cause some flash flooding? So we have a flood advisory for Lorain County. I'm going to read that to you first. Flooding caused by excessive rainfall expected. Minor flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas. Okay. As of 2:35, between a half an inch and an inch of rain has fallen. An additional half an inch to an inch and a half of rain is possible across Lorain County. Includes Lorain, Elyria, Westlake, North Ridgeville, Avon Lake, Grafton, North Olmsted, Avon, Sheffield Lake, Eaton, Oberlin, Sheffield, LaGrange, and Eaton Estates. Okay, so we got a flood advisory until 5 p.m. Till 5 p.m. for Lorain County. All right, let's go to the tornado watch. Tornado watch. Crazy. I just read you that statement from the Storm Prediction Center that it was a 20% chance for a watch issuance, and boom, half hour later we get a watch. Okay, so here's the thinking there. So it includes Carroll County, Columbiana County, Jefferson County, Tuscarawas County, and eastern half of Stark County in there as well, and a little sliver of Mahoning, the southern sliver of Mahoning County. Until 8 p.m. this evening. We're not going to need it that long. Trust me, not going to need it that long. Let's see. No discuss. Again, tornadoes would be weak. They would be weak. Okay, but still, it's a chance. It's a chance. So we'll keep an eye on those, and we will watch carefully. Let's go up to Lorain County now. I'm going to keep that tornado watch box up there so everyone joining me can see it. Okay, it says a heavy cloud shift west of Oroville. Kyle, does that mean you're getting out of the rain, or is it you're coming into the rain? You're probably coming into the rain, right? Worcester, wind intense. Got it. Elyria has heavy rain and thunder. Thunder and raining very hard in LaGrange. Got it. Got it. Please take a second to hit the like and subscribe, as it will help Mark. Yes, it gets the word out. It tells the algorithms that people are interested in this. So leave a comment, like, and share this with family and friends. You got to get the word out. That's what I say. Get the word out. Look at all that rain. Wellington, all the way up through Lorain, Avon Lake, Oberlin. You're getting heavy rain. Could see another inch of rain there. Norwalk, you're going to get into some heavy rain. So here's your strongest thunder cell now. You got 50-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail potentially. Okay, that is the worst of it is along Route 30 and south of Worcester, although it's moving into Worcester now. Oroville, you're right in line for this thing. It is coming your way in a hurry. It is coming your way in the next 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to put this on, and I'll zoom in a little bit. We'll show you arrival times. Smithville 240. Oh, it's 248. Yeah, it's already past that. 303 Canal Fulton, Clinton 302, Marshallville 252, 321 in North Canton. Okay, 321 Marshallville right there. You're at about 224. Clinton, there you are. Arrival time. Oh, it's off the screen. There it is. 224. City of Green. You got a little while. You're at 220. Hold on. It says 224. Okay. Everybody says 224 right now. Okay. A little glitchy. All right, we'll take that down. Love these comments coming in. Everybody. Rainy with a bit of thunder in Medina. Yeah, the poor water department. All of our crews working out and about today are doing so well in this thunder and lightning. We wish them well. Want them to stay dry. Zoom on out. Watching these storms. Here's your tornado watch. Here's your tornado watch. Until 8 p.m. Going to leave that box up there. Keeping an eye on some of these cells in here. Keeping a very close eye. And it's a pretty small box too. I mean, take a look. That's it. That's the tornado watch box. A little bit of West Virginia, a little bit of Southwest PA, and a little bit of Eastern Ohio, Southeastern Ohio. I mean, that may be 18 counties, maybe less. I mean, that is not a big tornado watch box at all. But storms are storms, and doesn't matter how big it is. If there's a little potential, we got to watch for it. Storms moving slightly north of east now at about 35 miles per hour. So they picked up a little bit of a steam. They are producing torrential rains. That is a big concern. Torrential rains half an inch to an inch of rain as these cells move over you. And you could see if another cell moves over you, an additional inch of rain. So low-lying areas, poor drainage areas are going to get wet. They're going to be soggy, and continuous rain over the next couple of days. Not continuous, but the next couple of days, we're going to see rain on and off. I mean, tomorrow's going to be a very wet day. I know a lot of kids have graduations planned outdoors for tomorrow. It's going to be really, really wet. It's going to be cool. Even if the rain stops by 6 or 7 o'clock in your particular locale, doesn't mean more rain's not going to move in. I mean, we are going to see the rain diminish a little bit by tomorrow, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, but it doesn't mean there won't be rain where you are. It's hard to pinpoint where the rain's going to be tomorrow. So plan B for all those graduations, okay? All right, got to go back up here. I want to watch this little guy. He's an interesting cell. He's kind of spreading out a little bit. Let's stop this real fast. Let's put a couple of little, let's get some velocity on here. Boop. All right, let's get some velocity. Watching this area here. Okay. A little bit of red, a little bit of green. I'm not concerned about it seriously at this moment in time. Let's go down here into Stark where we had these really interesting storms. You got a lot going on there. No real tight couplet that I'm concerned about that would suggest that a tornado's trying to form. Okay, there's your little, your little indentation there and your little appendage there. Your little tail, if you will. Not anything serious. Farther south, here, Dover, New Philly, that I-77 corridor is about to get smacked. I mean, it already is from Strasburg to New Philly up toward Mineral City. You got a ton of heavy rain there. And then back into Fredericksburg, Apple Creek, Orville. If there's hail, it's going to be right in here. There's the gustiest winds are going to be right in here. This little thing on the front side is interesting. This little thing on the front side, let's just give it a little sneak peek. Right over in here. Okay. Again, keeping an eye on things. You got some gusty winds. Looks like 30 plus. 20 to 30. Not even really impressed with the wind speeds anymore in that cell there. Let's check on some of these. Go back to reflectivity. Yeah, I mean, your strongest cell is right here, Worcester to Orville. Probably got some small hail in there. You got some wind gusts to 30. That's really all I see there. Back to the north, just messy, rainy. Now moving into western Cuyahoga County, you've got North Olmsted, Olmsted Falls getting hit with the heavier rains now. You got a pea-sized hail in Orville. Yes, Kyle. Great ob, my friend. There he is. Pea-sized hail in Orville. Thunder here in Cleveland Hopkins Airport. Awesome. Heavy rain, North Olmsted and Thunder. All right, it's impacting the metros. Greater Cleveland Metro. All right, Greater Cleveland Metro. All quiet finally in Plymouth and Huron County. Awesome. Dark cloud over Marshallville. No wind or rain yet. Oh, it's coming your way. Dark and still in Jackson. Debbie, ooh, the leading edge. Look at all that rain. Moving into Westlake. Bay Village. Okay. Bay Village, North Olmsted, Eaton Estates, Grafton's, probably a little bit of pea-sized hail there. Oberlin, you got some rain. Medina coming in your way, nothing severe, but wet. All right, slide on down the line. We just talked about the Orville storm where we have reports of pea-sized hail right in that area there. Marshallville, you're going to miss the pea-sized hail probably. You're just going to get some rain. Fredericksburg, down into Holmesville. Millersburg, you've got some good moderate to heavy rain, some thunder and lightning. Strasburg, Dover, New Philly, that I-77 corridor is going to be soaked up here. Heavy rainfall, indeed, right in this area here. Heavy rains. East Canton, it's just lighter rains now, moving up toward Alliance. Alliance getting heavy rain and thunderstorms. Big temperature drop, 5 to 10 degrees, says Kyle. Raining in Canton by Altman Hospital with some thunder. Okay. Massillon area, well, it's all around you. I mean, it's all around you in Massillon. You got some rain there, and you're probably going to catch this big old line coming out of Fredericksburg within the next 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, the next 30 to 40 minutes. See what else we got. Dover getting slammed. Absolutely. Absolutely. There it is, the Dover, New Philly area. All that heavy rain coming in. Heavy rain alliance. Heavy rain up here near Middlefield. It's going to move on in. Middlefield. Bainbridge is dry. Manaway's dry, but all around you, Chagrin Falls is dry. Aquila, it's going to slide between Middlefield and Aquila for the most part. Got some rain over Mentor, Paynesville, into Geneva, Geneva on the lake. East Lake getting some rain. The heavier stuff is now moving in toward the airport. Look at that. There's some hail in there. North Olmsted. Tell me if you're in North Olmsted or nearby. Can you tell me what kind of stuff you have going on? Heavy rain in Holmesville. Hail about 10 minutes ago. Thank you. Rain and thunder in Litchfield. Let's see. Will Stowe have a strong storm soon? Well, let's check. Let's check on Stowe. You got that North Olmsted strong cell moving into the airport. That's going to ground a few flights for a few minutes. So Stowe up here, I think you might slide between. I think the strongest cells here are going to slide northeast, and this stuff here down in the Worcester area is going to graze Akron. So you're in Stowe. So you're going to get whatever activities is in Medina. And right now it's some moderate to heavy rain, some gusty winds to 25 miles per hour, and some lightning at this moment in time. Keeping an eye on our tornado watch. Yes, tornado watch until 8 p.m. for eastern Stark County, for eastern Tuscarawas County, for Carroll and Columbiana counties until 8 p.m. Not going to need it that long. Not going to need it that long. Okay? Right now it's 2:57. We're not going to need this for 5 more hours. I don't think so. I don't think so. So let's see what we have going on. Just checking my scans, making sure I'm not missing anything. I do want to go to the Storm Prediction Center and see what they've got going on. And see what their discussion is about this tornado watch. So we'll widen out our view. Let's widen it out. Get everybody in the picture. Everybody in that picture there. We'll show you the motion is basically slightly north of east at about 35 miles per hour. I want to get some watches. Okay, there's the tornado watch. I'm going to click on that. A couple of tornadoes, scattered damaging wind gusts to 65 miles per hour, and isolated large hail to 1.5 inches in diameter. Low top supercells, related hail, wind, and tornado potential should focus in a narrow zone regionally near a warm front this afternoon until around sunset. Again, I think it's going to end as this squall line moves through, but we'll keep an eye on that. That's really about it. So, we're basically on par for what we've been talking about. A weak tornado potential, an isolated damaging wind gust in that tornado watch, and isolated large hail. But right now, it's so messy in there. No storm is winning out. They're all competing for the energy, and that tends to weaken everything. So you get weaker storms because you have so many around each other, bumping into each other, trying to steal the energy from the atmosphere, all competing. So there's your strong thunderstorm moving out of Worcester, moving over Oroville now. It's going to slide up toward Portage Lakes, southern Summit County. Portage Lakes. Got the big cells over western Cuyahoga County. Okay, there's your probably some hail in there. Sliding by the airport, moving up into Westlake, Bay Village, moving north and east. 35 miles per hour. You've also got Grafton, Wellington. The rain's trying to stop a little bit. Then you got this stuff over in Norwalk that's sliding north and east as well. And that's why you've got a flood advisory for Lorain County until 5 p.m. You've already seen about an inch of rain. You could see another inch, maybe a little bit more. So low-lying areas and frequently flooded areas could have an issue. And you guys know where those those highway spots are, right? You know where the water collects on Interstate 90, 480, the Turnpike, you know. So keep an eye on those spots, especially for travelers home during the PM rush, which is about ready to start. It's going to be a wet one. Orville, 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts potentially. I'm not seeing 50-mile-an-hour winds in there. And then, of course, there's your tornado watch for eastern Stark County. Draw a line, I-77, basically east, okay, for the tornado watch. But my thoughts are that Stark County is not likely to have to deal with a tornado today, but we will keep an eye. There's that cell up in Geauga now. Another little cell trying to pop across Portage, a couple of them there. Trumbull County, you got generally rain, but a couple of cells trying to get going behind that first line. Greater Cleveland now getting, western suburbs now getting some heavy rainfall, sliding on in. Okay. We all just got hit so bad in the Portage Lakes, New Franklin, Canal Fulton, still cleaning up. When was that? When was that? Was that a while ago? Helga? Nice light rain in Willoughby. Looks like the line is starting to split apart as it approaches Wadsworth. Yeah, I mean, you can see there's kind of breaks in the line. There's this area here, right in here, where there's like a path of just light rain. So yeah, Wadsworth, you're probably going to hear the thunder. You're going to see some lighter rain showers. It's probably going to be about it for you. The heavier rains now. And even this is showing signs that it's kind of weakening a little bit. That line sliding through Orville into Millersburg. Okay. And no severe thunderstorm warning. It's a special weather statement. It means it's a strong thunderstorm. Strong storm, 50-mile-an-hour winds max, but I don't even see those in there. And then down here you have your tornado watch, which was kind of a little surprise because when I read the discussion, they had a 20% chance of issuing any type of watch box. And then, okay, 30 minutes later, boom, we got one. There's a mess there. There is a ton of storminess all around. How does one cell take over? Now you got these cells on the backside sliding in outside of our watch area here, right in there. You've got them moving out, or moving in, I should say. Yeah, they could be strong because there's still some environmental air down here that's pretty good that they could feed off of. So if there's going to be any type of tornado, I'm going to watch these storms here near Cambridge and south as they slide north and east toward Pittsburgh. That might be your best shot at a tornado warned storm. Not that I want one, because I don't. Farther north, it's just getting real muddy. I mean, look at all those storms competing. There is a ton of storms trying to compete and survive. Okay, lots of heavy rain though. Lots of heavy rain. Look at all the folks here. This is amazing. This is amazing from Facebook, from YouTube. Thanks for the likes, the follows, and the shares. It's so important. We need those shares to get the word out to everybody. Okay. Heavy rain in Strongsville. Mentor any thunderstorms? Well, you got a mess coming into Greater Cleveland and Medina. I can't imagine that all fades away. It's going to eventually reach Lake County, but it's going to be a little while. It might be another, 90 minutes, maybe a little less before that moves in. Also back here, we'll go back to, you've got some other cells that are trying to pop back toward Findlay. So there's a lot of activity out there, something we have to watch for. That tornado watch box until 8 o'clock. I said, I don't think we'd need it that long, but, maybe parts of it we will need into the evening hours. Just a lot of rain. And unfortunately, this is the start of a very messy weather pattern, a very wet weather pattern, a very cool weather pattern. You can actually blame the polar vortex. Even though it's springtime, you can get a chunk of much colder than normal air that falls down from near the Arctic regions when you get a disruption of the polar vortex. And that's kind of what we had about a month ago, a disruption. The polar vortex usually is a tight, spinny circle that keeps the coldest Arctic air trapped. But when it starts to wobble a little bit, like a top that loses some momentum, it releases it breaks apart a little bit, it elongates, and it allows some of that colder Arctic air near the surface to break free and head south. So that happened about a month ago, and it's taken its time to get here, but here it is. I mean, when you see highs in the 50s, 20 degrees below average or 15 degrees below average, that's definitely a chunk of air that arrived from somewhere north, not somewhere south. And unfortunately, this is going to linger through the end of the month. This cooler than average weather pattern. Not to say we're not going to have some nice, pleasant spring days. I'm all for that. I'm all for a 70-degree day with some sunshine and light winds. I'm all for it. But if you're expecting 80-degree weather, beach weather and pool weather, I don't think you're going to get it for a couple of weeks. We're going to have to wait till June. I know it's very sad. Kate says, when will Barberton, Akron be hit, and will it be hail and 50-mile-an-hour winds? Look, I think that strong cell is going to slide just to the south. It may graze downtown Akron. This top edge here may graze downtown Akron. Okay? I think the worst of this weather, the small hail, I think Portage Lake, City of Green, that is yours. Maybe Ellett, Barberton, you're going to be right on the edge there. You can see it's crossing Route 21 right now, kind of spreading up. In toward Barberton, it may graze the southern sections like Firestone Park of Akron, Mogador, Hartville. I think Cuyahoga Falls and Fairlawn, you're going to be right in that little zone of light to moderate rain and a little bit of thunder and lightning. Okay, keeping an eye on storms in our tornado watch. Tornado watch in effect until 8 p.m. for eastern Stark County, eastern Tuscarawas County, all of Carroll, and all of Columbiana counties until 8 p.m. That is a mess. That is a mess. There is no one storm that stands out to me that says, watch this one. I mean, they're all pretty much mesocycloning, gradually spinning. They're gradually spinning. Got some mesocyclones. Up here, we've got some really good heavy rain moving along that I-90 corridor now through Bay Village. Now moving into the western parts of Cleveland, headed toward the Cuyahoga River, just in time for the evening rush. I-90, you've got Ohio City getting involved there with the heavy rain. Lakewood, heavy rain. Newburgh Heights, Brooklyn, heavy rain. Ponding of water. There are spots on Interstate 90 where the water just puddles. You've got to be careful driving in these conditions. You don't want to hit that puddle and hydroplane spin out, hit a wall. Don't want you injured. Don't want you hurt, okay? Garfield Heights, rain's moving in now. Eastern suburbs, it's coming. Give it another 15 minutes, maybe less. Okay, more rain filling in and down here, North Ridgeville, Brecksville, Strongsville, Grafton, North Royalton. There's North Ridgeville. You're getting some more heavy rain sliding your way. Maybe some hail too, still some pea-sized hail. As these clusters are beginning to shift farther and farther north of east. So we're going to call it a northeast movement at about 35 miles per hour. Storms here, trying to front build now in southern Summit County. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This guy is crazy. If you're in Middlefield right now, if you're right along Route 422, I guarantee you that's an interesting cloud formation right here. Again, that could easily be a little lowering of the cloud deck. Is anyone along Route 422 between Bainbridge and West Farmington? Anybody there? I mean, right in there, I mean, it's a little hook, yes. Is there anything on the ground? No, but I bet that's a little lowering there. I don't quite want to call it a wall cloud, but I mean, it's a lowering there. I bet you can see that really clearly. We have a good thunderstorm coming into Akron. Yes. Pouring in Brook Park. That's an interesting cell. We'll just put a little velocity on it real quick right in here. I want to watch that spot. Yeah, you got some reds, you got some greens. Got some reds and greens, but they're not strong. So I bet you there's a little lowering right in there. Maybe a little tiny lowering like a wall cloud trying to form. Maybe it's a non-rotating wall cloud, but that's an interesting structure. Not a tornado. No, not a tornado, but you got to have things happen first, right? Wall cloud, funnel cloud, tornado. So here you go into southern Summit County, You've got this area of hail moving over Route 21 right now. Torrential rain. It's probably pull over to the side of the road type heavy rain. Southern Summit, City of Green. No severe thunderstorm warnings out, okay? Shar says, my daughter and I, Southwest General, pouring and thundering. Thank you, Shar. Hope everything's okay with you. Okay, love this. Let's see, other comments. What's the word on Washington, PA? You get yours a little later, probably overnight tonight. You get your thunder cells coming in, okay? Watching these areas here in the tornado watch box. I might have to switch to Pittsburgh's radar real quick. I'm just going to do this real quick, okay? I'm going to go over here to the Pittsburgh radar because that's closer to these storms. Let's see if it'll let me because I've got so much running on this thing right now. It may not let me right now. I'm using up all the RAM in this thing. Anyway, Pittsburgh radar is closer to these, but I'm not seeing anything I'm concerned about. Plus, this is out of our talking area, pretty much over here into East Liverpool. Although we may have some viewers there, which is awesome. May have some viewers there. Okay, strong storm here, moving into southern Summit County. Looks like Akron, you're going to get some heavy rain on the south side. Medina, you're getting some moderate rain. I think you're out of the woods for severe weather. Greater Cleveland now, you got the hammer down just in time for the afternoon rush. You've got some heavy rain sliding in with some small hail. You got lower visibilities. Anyone trying to drive home, why don't you give them a quick text right now? You know, especially if you're on the east side trying to go west, just tell them lots of heavy rain. It's going to be a slow go. And please watch for hydroplaning. Just do that for me. Leave a little comment. Share this to people who may need this information right now, who may be driving. Carroll County is watching for sure. Love it. Tracy says, I happen to love the rain as long as there's no lightning involved. Yeah, unfortunately, there's some lightning in this. Anything interesting coming toward Lordstown? Well, let's take a look at Lordstown, okay? Why not? I'm not ignoring anybody. I want everybody to see what's going on. Of course, my fat finger's on this mouse. Okay, let's put it into motion. Still have our tornado watch if you're just joining me. Stark County's in there. Eastern Stark County, Tuscarawas, Eastern Tuscarawas County, all of Carroll, all of Columbiana County. Watching the motion. Let's put them into motion. Motion, motion, motion. Heavy rain, Greater Cleveland. Heavy rain, Lorain County, around Columbia Station. Heavy rain in Huron County, just to the east of Norwalk. You've got heavy rain moving into southern Summit County, the Portage Lakes moving toward Barberton, and the south side of downtown Akron. You've got some heavy rain in the Canton area, primarily south toward south and east. Okay, you've got other storms building up into the Youngstown area, non-severe, but a lot of heavy rain and some lightning as well. The rainmakers have been intense, and we still have that flood advisory until 5 p.m. for Lorain County. They've already seen an inch of rain. They could see another inch of rain. Any low-lying area that normally gets high water, yeah. Low-lying areas, ponding of water. I mean, it's not going to be a major flood, but okay, just check in and make sure I'm not missing any statements from the National Weather Service or from Storm Prediction Center, okay? So there it is, into southern Summit County, into Cuyahoga County now, getting some heavy, heavy rain. Heavy, heavy rain. Love the viewers on here. This is tremendous. Love all the likes and the shares. Thank you so much. Leave your comments. Leave your comments. I'm trying to read them as quickly as I can. My sump pump is really running in Vermilion. Robbie, oh my goodness. Absolutely. I'm glad you got it on. Glad that battery's running. How bad is it in Ellet and Akron? Again, you're going to be right on the edge of that heavy rain that's sliding into southern Summit County. Follow my cursor right in there. See Akron right there in the middle of your screen. So you got Ellet, right in here. So you got some heavy rain moving in right now. You'll be right on the edge of it. Southern, neighborhoods of Akron primarily. Could it slip a little bit north into downtown, Route 8, Route 59? Sure. But you're right on the edge. Right on the edge. Love that little cell that could up here in Geauga County. Man, that thing is very, very interesting. Tornado watch, Eastern Stark, Eastern Tuscaroras, all of Carroll, all of Columbiana County until 8 p.m. No other watches out for anybody else. You've got that special weather statement for that storm just ended. So no longer is there a 50-mile-an-hour wind gust threat. It's just primarily heavy rains and very small pea-sized hail now into southern Summit County, into the greater Cleveland area. We're going to hang around for a few more minutes and make sure that nothing blows up here. Of course, if there would be any type of tornado warning in our viewing area, we'd certainly address that. I think the cell that I'm most concerned about right now is this one up here in Geauga County. This one has taken on a little shape that it's a little engine that could right here. It's got a mind of its own. And I think right down here, riding right across Route 422, right across Route 422, headed in toward West Farmington, Route 528, Route 88. I think there's probably a little lowering of that cloud there. There's probably the beginnings of a wall cloud. Correct me if the storm chasers are on here with me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I really think there's probably a nice little lowering on that cloud. Not a tornado. No, not a tornado, but a little lowering. Something that you watch and you watch. Keep an eye. You learn to identify the things on a storm cell that you want to just go back to and make sure it doesn't get feisty. Quick look. Let's do velocities. Okay, let's do wind velocities. First of all, we're doing storm relative velocities. Just going to check. That means if the storm was standing still, what would the wind be? As if the storm were standing still. And this is how you find the rotation. You use storm relative velocity. I use base velocity, which takes into account the motion of the storm as well and plots the wind speeds too. So if the storm was standing still, is there an area of concern anywhere? So here's that Route 422 cell. It continues to show a little bit of red and green right down here at that little, what I consider maybe a lowering of the clouds right in here. Nothing I'm concerned about at this moment in time. Slide on down. Louisville, East Canton, not seeing anything really concerned about. You got a little broad rotation right there, Mineral City, Magnolia, a little bit of broad rotation. Over here, not seeing really any rotation to worry about. And back to the north. I think that's okay as far as rotation goes. So base velocity. This is going to change colors for a little bit. It's going to show us where our strongest winds might be. I mean, we got some gusty winds right here near Brunswick. See that? Just to the west of Brunswick. See these brighter green colors there? So they, it's 25-mile-an-hour wind gust. Nothing that's going to stir up much, but gusty winds indeed, 100%. And reflectivity. We'll go back out, make sure I'm not missing any winds. You got some wind gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour right now. That's really all I'm seeing in these storms. Really all I'm seeing. David says heavy rain. David and Michael. Rain and thunder in Brunswick. Clover 7. Janice had some rain and hail in Worcester, but it seems done. Storm moved through Canton, headed northeast to Louisville. Okay, let's go back to our reflectivity, our storm mode. Where's the rain? Where is it heaviest? That's what our reflectivity means. So coming into Akron, it's trying to creep into downtown, so it may get there. You can see that brighter red color right in here. I mean, that's some pretty good rain. Some very heavy rain. I think heavy rain is the main threat now. Potential flooding. We have that flood advisory for Lorain County until 5 p.m. They've had an inch of rain, probably more than that now. Could see upwards of 2 inches of rain by the time it's done. Here's your tornado watch box right here in that kind of bluish pinkish thing. So you've got Stark County included in that. Although officially, I'm not sure the Cleveland Weather Service pulled the trigger on a tornado watch. Tuscarawas County is in there. The real drawn box does include eastern Stark County and portions of Mahoning County, but I am not sure that the Cleveland National Weather Service included them, and that's their prerogative. I certainly respect the Cleveland National Weather Service, and I tend to agree that the threat for a tornado in Stark County, not very much. But technically, the watch box is drawn as a big square, and you can see the big square box, and it does include Stark County. But for now, it does not look like we have an official tornado watch for Stark County. I'm going to just double check, which is fine with me. Anybody else have a complaint on that? I bet you don't. I bet you don't. Well, my phone is running out of battery, so it's going to not be with us much longer. So if I'm going to get any updates, I better get them quick. So new tornado watch. Basically, it's the Pittsburgh area that's issued the tornado watch. I'm going to check one more thing here, and we'll know for sure whether Cleveland did. And again, Cleveland, much respect if they chose not to issue for Stark County or Mahoning County. I'm just going to double check and pull that up. So Cleveland officially is not listing Stark County or Mahoning County in the tornado watch. Okay, good. There is Tuscarawas County, there is Carroll County, there is Columbiana County. Okay. When things are drawn, they're drawn in boxes, and then counties that touch are either included or not included, depending on some other decision-making processes. So Stark County, not under a tornado watch. Mahoning County, not under a tornado watch. Good, 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 good. Columbiana, yes. Parts of Tuscarawas, yes. Carroll County, yes. Carroll County, yes. Lots of heavy rain. Lots of heavy rain. That will continue. I think this is the main area of heavy rain that's coming in. There'll be a few storms lingering behind that. Our computer guidance product suggests that there'll be some widely scattered storms for the rest of the evening and overnight. And then we just get this upper level low that's currently near Chicago. And that thing just swings, gradually just swings on down across northern Ohio through the day tomorrow. It keeps the threat for rain showers, non-severe, just rain showers in, on and off through the day tomorrow. I know graduations are tomorrow. It's going to be in the 50s for highs. You're going to have had quite a bit of rain. Even if the rain stops by 6 or 7 o'clock when folks want to gather for an outdoor graduation ceremony, it's going to be wet. It's going to be chilly. It's totally up to the superintendents and school officials on how they handle those graduations, because I can't guarantee the rain is going to be done in any particular spot by 6 or 7 o'clock tomorrow evening for any graduation. So you have that plan B, and it's a tough job. I think it's a tough job for any superintendent. It really is, to make these decisions. So I'm here to help. I'm here to help. Just DM me and we'll go through it if we can. So good news for Stark County, good news for Mahoning County, not included in the tornado watch box. Love that. Love that. Awesome. Still a lot of heavy rain moving through the Cleveland Metro, the Akron Metro, the Canton Metro. Right now, on the backside of that, we're getting sharp cutoff. As you get into Erie and Huron County, it's just, lighter rain showers. And then we've got some widely scattered showers kind of filling in behind that. This is just the beginning of a cool, rainy pattern that carries us into our holiday weekend. I know that's not what you wanted to hear. I know that's not what you wanted to hear. Not what you wanted to hear. Here's what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to run a different banner for you that will help with a little forecast on the bottom, okay? So I'm going to hide this banner, and I'm going to throw this banner on. So with our forecast, and it does include the scattered thunder showers, some with heavy rain, some severe, and then you have your highs today, and then it'll give you an overnight and a tomorrow and a Friday. And it looks like tomorrow wet with scattered rain, Friday a little less wet, but still some scattered rain showers, and hopefully Saturday not so much. There's your rainy pattern. We got this little spoke, this little frontal boundary coming in that's pushing these thunderstorms in with heavy rain, the main threat right now. Had a severe thunderstorm warning for the Richland, Ashland, Wayne County areas. That has expired. We have no reports of any wind damage yet. The largest hail I think we've heard from you as a viewer is basically pea-sized hail, maybe a little bit larger, okay? All right, lots of thunder and lightning in Brunswick. Thunder and lightning in Brunswick. Thunder and lightning in Brunswick. So when things happen and warnings are issued, like on a dime, you see it appear on your screen, you just kind of look at things, you interpret things a little bit, you try and get as much info as you can. And, you know, Pittsburgh's Weather Service has responsibility for Carroll County, Columbiana, Tuscarawas County, Coshocton counties. Cleveland's National Weather Service has responsibility for Stark and Summit and Wayne and Holmes counties, as well as Trumbull and Mahoning counties. So they coordinate with each other and they decide, you know, which counties they're going to include and which counties they're not. So Stark County not included in the watch, and Mahoning County not included in the tornado watch. And man, am I glad. What about warmer temps, say in the 60s? Well, yeah, we're gonna have those. We're gonna have those. It's just, I know a lot of you are looking forward to a holiday weekend. We're gonna put the boat in the water. My video the other day, I said put the boat in the ground. That wouldn't be a boat, would it? That would be like a porch. You don't put a boat in the ground. You put the boat. A lot of you want to put your boats in the water. We're gonna have a choppy lake. I mean, we got 3 to 5 footers out there right now on the lake. Tomorrow's not going to be pretty on the lake. We got rip current advisories out west of Cleveland for you know, swimmers who want to get in the water. Don't. And we may calm things down a little bit by Sunday. Let's hope. Okay, things can change. Things can change. Look at all that heavy rain moving into Cleveland. Moving into Cleveland. So right now it's heavy rain. You got some thunder and lightning. I'm seeing these storms kind of diminish a little bit. This storm up here over Geauga, the little engine that could, we got a storm south of it that's going to interrupt any energy that's flowing into it. So I'm confident that storm will behave itself. You got some heavy rain sliding into downtown Akron. It did manage to move farther north into downtown. Cuyahoga Falls, you're right on the edge right now. Stowe, it's going to be close. You may get some of that rain because it looks like it wants to go more north now than east. So Stowe, you may get some of that heavy rain. Primarily right now, all I'm seeing is heavy rain, some lightning and thunder, and some issues with high water. So what I'm going to say right now is I'm going to give everybody a quick break. If there is another round of severe weather that does pop up, I will be right here, I promise. Make sure you like and follow, and please share this and stick with me for any other severe weather updates. In the meantime, you'll see my next update just for general weather, hopefully by around 6 o'clock. Keep an eye out for YouTube and on Facebook. Thanks for being here. Why do you think no thunderstorm watches or warnings for Wayne County when they came through, though? Well, because the storm had weakened, and our radar information that I was showing you did not show 60-mile-an-hour winds. It really didn't show hail larger than 1 inch in diameter, and it definitely didn't show a tornado. And those are the 3 things you need. One or all of those things, 1 or 2 or all of those things need to be present for it to be a severe weather event. So you didn't have that. You had it perhaps early on when it was in Mansfield and Ashland, but then that storm faded away. It was still strong, but not strong enough to be classified as severe. Hope this helps. Before you leave, can you check the forecast for the next 8 days? Yeah. I don't, let's see what we got. I will say this before I lose my phone. Before I lose my phone. Thanks very much, Mark. I'm your biggest fan, Mark. Oh, you're very kind. Everyone's very, very kind to be here. The next couple of weeks through the end of May, temps are likely to average near average or cooler than average. So we're not expecting any hot stuff. We're not expecting any, any beach weather, if you will. I mean, you may try and squeeze it out. I know a lot of you like the cool. I do too. My wife tends to like the cool weather as well. So anyway, thank you all for being here. This has been a good time. You have been all tremendous, showing me what was going on in your world. Still some heavy rain for the next few hours. Watch for flooding on the roadways. Watch for thunder and lightning. Right now, the severe weather threat, not real high. Of course, if something breaks, I'll be right back here. Thanks for being here, everybody. Stay safe.